Fascinating Frontiers, episode 93 for June 6th, 2026. The universe has been busy. Let's get into it. Astronomers have finally detected winds streaming from the Milky Way's central black hole after a 50-year search. After 50 years of searching, astronomers identified powerful winds flowing outward from Sagittarius A screen. The winds appear as a cone-shaped cavity in surrounding gas and dust. Observations used multiple telescopes to map the empty region pointing back to the black hole. The discovery confirms theoretical predictions that active black holes drive galactic-scale outflows. Further mapping will reveal how these winds affect star formation in the galactic center. Now, here's something that blew my mind when I looked into it. Astronomers have now mapped winds streaming from Sagittarius A2S after decades of effort. The cone-shaped cavity in surrounding material points directly back to the black hole and matches long-standing predictions for active galactic nuclei. Multi-telescope data revealed the empty region carved by outflowing gas. The finding strengthens models of how central black holes regulate star formation across entire galaxies. How far do these winds extend, and do they influence the Milky Way's overall evolution? If the Sun were scaled to the size of a basketball in Toronto, Sagittarius A2 would still be smaller than a single atom, yet contain 4 million times the Sun's mass. Material spiraling inward releases enormous energy that heats and accelerates surrounding gas into powerful outflows. These winds can reach thousands of kilometers per second and clear cavities hundreds of light years across. The process links the tiny region near the event horizon to structures visible across the entire galaxy. We can measure the wind's speed and extent, yet the exact fraction of energy converted into outflow versus radiation remains unknown. The European Space Agency set the next Ariane 6 launch for June 17th in its most powerful configuration to date. Flight VA269 will carry 36 satellites for Amazon's Project Kuiper constellation. The rocket's upgraded boosters will deliver greater payload capacity than earlier flights. Engineers completed final checks on the vehicle and ground systems ahead of the window. The mission will test the launcher's performance with a large commercial manifest. On a completely different note, NASA completed a test showing a spacecraft can move between multiple satellite communication networks without losing contact. The demonstration used existing ground stations and commercial relay satellites to maintain continuous links. Engineers tracked signal handoffs during orbital passes to confirm reliability. The result supports future missions that may need flexible communication paths. Additional tests are planned to refine switching protocols for longer duration flights. The International Academy of Astronautics SETI Committee revised its Declaration of Principles for handling potential detections of extraterrestrial intelligence. The updates address how findings should be verified and shared publicly. The changes coincide with the upcoming release of the film Disclosure Day. Committee members reviewed decades-old procedures to reflect current detection capabilities. The revised document will guide future announcements if signals are confirmed. A total solar eclipse will cross a remote region of northern Russia on August 12, 2026. The moon's shadow will produce totality for observers along a narrow path during midday. Partial phases will be visible across Greenland and Iceland. NASA released maps showing the exact track and timing for the event. The eclipse offers a rare opportunity for ground-based coronal studies. 2 of the 3 small sats for NASA's INCUS mission finished assembly and environmental testing. The mission will study tropical convective storm dynamics from orbit starting in 2027. The 3rd satellite remains in testing with completion expected no earlier than September. INCUS will provide the first space-based survey of updraft behavior inside storms. Data will improve weather and climate models. Goodyear will supply tires for NASA's Artemis moon rover missions. The tires must operate in the moon's extreme temperatures and abrasive regolith. Development builds on earlier testing of non-pneumatic wheel concepts. The contract supports surface mobility needs for sustained lunar operations. Prototypes will undergo further evaluation before flight hardware production. NASA's X-59 experimental aircraft reached Mach 1.1 during a June 5th test flight from Edwards Air Force Base. The 81-minute flight focused on handling qualities at both subsonic and supersonic speeds. Test pilot Jim Clueless flew the aircraft to 43,400 feet. The milestone advances plans for quiet supersonic demonstrations later this year. Data from the flight will help validate the aircraft's low-boom design. The Hubble Space Telescope captured M88, a spiral galaxy traveling through the Virgo Cluster on a journey expected to last hundreds of millions of years. The image shows the galaxy's arms and central bulge as it moves toward the cluster's dense center. Hubble's observations track how cluster environments reshape galaxies over long timescales. The data add to ongoing studies of galaxy evolution within dense cosmic neighborhoods. Future observations with larger telescopes will measure changes in M88's structure as it continues inward. Researchers at the University of California, Riverside, used James Webb Space Telescope data to trace the cosmic web back to when the universe was 1 billion years old. The map shows the network of galaxies and gas filaments in unprecedented detail. Earlier surveys lacked the sensitivity to resolve structures at such early epochs. The new view helps test models of how the first galaxies assembled. Additional JWST fields will extend the map to even earlier times. Astronomers at CNRS and the University of Bordeaux directly observed the rotation of a protoplanetary disk around the young star AB Aurigae. The disk shows clear velocity patterns consistent with material orbiting the central star. This marks one of the first live kinematic maps of such a system. The observations help refine models of how planets form within rotating disks. Follow-up studies will track changes in disk structure over time. A new study of a binary star pair reveals dramatically different chemical compositions, despite likely forming together. One star displays abundance patterns suggesting it swallowed planets or planetesimals. The research, posted to arXiv on May 29th, offers a possible solution to the observed chemical mismatch. High-resolution spectra provided the elemental data used in the analysis. Additional observations of similar systems may show how often such events occur. The Zvezda Service Module Transfer Tunnel continues to show small atmosphere leaks, first noted in 2019. Roscosmos has applied temporary and permanent sealants while monitoring the rate of loss. NASA and Roscosmos teams identified the root cause through joint analysis. Crew operations remain normal outside of brief precautionary shelter periods. Further mitigation steps are under review. Next time, keep an eye on final vehicle checks ahead of the June 17th Ariane 6 launch. That's Fascinating Frontiers for today. If you enjoyed this, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for exploring with me, and I'll see you next time. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Unintended Consequences a listen. True stories of good intentions that backfired. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.
Drifting softly